It took us like 4 years to get this whole wave. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Welcome to Nick's Toy Box. Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome to Nick's Toy Box, your place for all Marvel Legends and Hot Toys and other varieties. But today we're taking a look at Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home, Marvel's Lizard. And yeah, almost 5 years of waiting to get an completed wave from this movie, this being the final installment. It's a bit nuts. And so I'm going to have to beg the question and throw it in here is that wait worth it for this last figure? While normally that kind of debate doesn't really matter, in this circumstance it does. Because the release schedule for this movie was so sporadic and so weird. And with this one being the final one, and it rounds out the villains and everybody for the movie, it kind of has like a big deal amongst them. So let's take a look at them. We have our pretty standard Marvel Legends packaging, Marvel's Lizard on the side, Marvel Legends up top, with the logo down here, Spider-Man No Way Home. Really like the big open scene so you can see the figure. Some art on the side with Marvel Legends. You can get a good look at it here, and even better look on the other side. On the back, more names, more of the same artwork. Pretty standard from what we're seeing nowadays from Marvel Legends. Some info, some really cool concept art or promotional art. Either way, pretty cool packaging. Nothing spectacular, but still really cool. A cool side note, I really like the insert. It's blocked by the figure, but once the figure is out, you get a really good look at it. And I honestly dig it. It's his suit when it's flipped inside out, but I really like the workings of it. Just a small detail, but stuff like that makes unpacking fun. And of course, following the trend of Marvel Legends lately of not a lot of accessories, especially so for a larger figure, we get 2 head sculpts, 2 extra hands, and the tail. The tail for me won't count as an accessory because it's an essential part of the figure. So with that, we only get 3 extra accessories. Attaching the tail though, really easy, and I like how it actually has its own like movement in the back. I do wish that it actually was bendable so you could pose it. It's really stiff. And like shelf display and stuff like that can be a bit clunky. But that aside, turntable spinning, how he looks out of the box, he's really cool. I really like the paintwork. The head sculpts are phenomenal. I love the texturing of the scales and everything throughout. I do have some complaints. Starting with the neck piece, it just looks so out of whack because of the giant seam lines and separations. It does help give some momentum and movement and articulation, which is greatly appreciated, but it sticks out like a sore thumb for me. Another thing, which I will get into more detail in a close-up look, is where the joints are, especially for the arms. On the inside, it's smooth, no texturing. And for this green, it really stands out like a sore thumb when they're fully pulled down. And so stuff like that makes looking at him a little hit or miss. But ultimately, this is a pretty awesome figure. Articulation and everything like that is pretty phenomenal, which we'll go into when we get to it. I'm just kind of wishing we could have got like a lab coat, some serums. I would even take a small lizard toy, like a little lizard, like we got in some of the older packaging for this figure. Just something extra. That's just my honest opinion. You let me know if you have the same feeling about it. Keeping it pushing though, we'll do a quick overview of the accessories. I like the touch here for the hands. They are sculpted really well with those scales. I like the black nails and the dark green and light green on the inside. I love the attention to detail of the hand that gets regrown, actually having 4 for like a claw instead of 5 for like a hand. Small attention to detail for stuff like that really sticks out to me and goes a long way. So I'm super appreciative of it. Like mentioned before, these head sculpts are great. They're absolutely phenomenal. This looks just like the movie. That evil looking smirk and those eyes and everything's just crafted excellent. Not a whole lot of complaints on my end. Got pretty lucky with the luck of the draw for these head sculpts, minus some small seam lines and things like that, which are expected to see. But these things are beautifully crafted. I would have liked, and I think this is me reminiscing on some of the old days, but the way that this jaw is set up on it, it looks like it would almost be able to open and close. And I wish we would have like something like that, because we used to get jointed jaws. And the way that this is sculpted, it looks like they maybe thought about it and then changed their mind last minute. But I like that work. I love all of this like gross, grotesque look on his skin, torso areas. Like I'm saying, the scaling work and all the paint app and everything on this is beautifully done. Absolutely love it, except for those joints areas on his arms, which you can even see now how barren it is. It just sticks out horribly. This makes me just want to keep his arms bent all the time, because having it wide open like that looks awful. Even the giant Venom we just got from Game Reverse had some texturing going on the inside. Once again, another big complaint for the tail. We could have gotten some articulation. But segue to articulation. Like I said, because of this really big pyramid neck thing, we get some added articulation to the already existing for the normal head sculpt, which is pretty good. He wasn't hurting to begin with, but this does add an up and down, but it looks really tacky all the way up, in my honest opinion. But when it's pulled down, it still looks good, functional, the best that it can look, given all of its things. Everything else articulation-wise, pretty stellar, pretty standard for Marvel Legends. Exceeds expectations for a larger scale figure. So that's awesome. Absolutely phenomenal work in all those areas. Typical rundown of arms, knees, ankles. Even has some bending on the foot. Ab crunch is not stellar, but not really needed for a figure like this, so whatever. No waist movement and no side to side on the hips, which doesn't really matter. It would be cool to get it, but I'm not mad about it for this figure. So the articulation for me is pretty good. I was actually pretty impressed, blown away a little bit. So with articulation being pretty stellar, it does make up for some of my other complaints, because the neck piece works. So even though it looks ugly, it does work. Tail up and down, I do love. That's going to be my biggest complaint today, is the lack of like a wire in there to bend it around. It really takes away from play features when it could have been easily done. But he's still so much fun to pose with because of that great articulation and just the presence that he has. Because this really stands out as one of my favorite Lizard designs. I know that's probably going to be a hot take, but I stand by it. And he looks so great next to Andrew Garfield. So here we have the CT Mafex and the Marvel Legends Amazing Spider-Man 2. I personally love the posing of CT Andrew Garfield next to this figure, because I like that size difference, because it makes posing loads of fun. But here he is with the actual Marvel Legends figure, and even then, you can still get some fun. Here we go, though. It took us 5 years to really get this whole thing. I got rid of my integrated suit. It took so long because I didn't think this was ever going to happen. But with that, I think that pretty much wraps it up for me. Would have liked some more accessories. Articulated tail. Some detailing in the joints so it didn't look as bland. But otherwise, pretty stellar figure. Maybe next time, though, for the next Spider-Man movie, we get an ensemble of villains. Let's not take 5 years to give us everybody. I think we can all agree on that. But I think that's enough. Really wraps up everything that I really had to say about this. So this has been Nick's Toy Box. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. I hope you enjoyed it. If not, let me know. But what you can also do is subscribe and ring the notification bell. You can like and share. And you can leave a comment. All those things really help me to grow and propel the channel. As always, this is Nick's Toy Box. You can click any of these videos to see more of me and more of my collection. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.